Hello guys, you're all very welcome to my channel. My name is Anna Maria and here I talk about education and life abroad. Today I want to talk about managers and area managers. This video is going to be extremely helpful for those who do study business management, just became managers or area managers, or are having an interview. So that's going to be extremely helpful for you. I do base my tips and my advice on 3 years management experience. I used to work as a supervisor and now I'm working as an area manager, and also I have studied 4 years of business management. So I definitely have something very valuable to tell you. Let's get into the things that we need to know. Let me start with people. It's very important to make sure that we have great relationships with people we work with. As a manager, you'll have to communicate with people from different backgrounds, people who have very different experience, different values, different motives, and especially now the workforce gets extremely diverse, so we have to learn how to work with that workforce. And as Dale Carnegie said in one of his books, that it's very important to try to put ourselves in the other people's shoes. So I'm reading one of his books. It's called How to Make Friends and How to Influence People. I'm reading it in Russian because I want to develop my Russian, but you definitely can find it in English because Dale Carnegie, he is an American writer and lecturer, and he definitely has some very useful things to talk about. Understanding how other people think will help us to work with them much easier, much better, much more efficient. Also, to make good relationships, it's very important to be interested in people, but to be interested genuinely. People can feel if you are fake, and it can be very difficult now when you live in an extremely busy city, when you always have to run somewhere, when you're always in rush. It's extremely difficult to stop and to genuinely ask questions and listen to that person. It is very important to learn that. And now let me tell you a few things that you can do in order to build great relationships. So first of all, maybe invite that person for a coffee and buy him or her a coffee. Try to talk about him or her and try to avoid work chats for the beginning, just to know that person a bit better. Help that person to solve his or her problems as quick as possible. Maybe make some small presents if you can do that, and also try to ask questions, personal questions, but try to be very careful because we don't want to cross anyone's limits, anyone's boundaries. We want to be extremely polite. And if you have a great sense of humor and if you can make jokes, definitely use your sense of humor, make some nice jokes and get closer to that person. I wish I was able to make much better jokes, but I'm still learning. Also, dealing with younger and older people can be a huge point. So when you're talking with, let's say, younger people, you can guide them if they ask you for some guidance. Definitely make sure that you listen to them. And when you talk to people who are older than you, definitely 100% listen to them because they had an amazing experience and their experience can be extremely helpful for you. When I talk to people who are a bit older than me, I always tell them that their experience is great, and that I am learning a lot from them. And in this situation, people usually react in a really good way. They feel valued, they feel that they're important, and also I get some very useful and important information based on their previous experience, which is great. Point number 2 is budget allocation. And budget allocation can be extremely challenging, but it's a great opportunity to show how good you work. As a manager or an area manager, you might have to invest a specific sum of money in order to achieve one or many of your targets. It can be very challenging because you also have to show what's the return on your investment. And an example of a return on the investment is better relationship with some people. Maybe you invested money in some better machinery to produce more, and you produce more, so this is your return on investment. But this really depends on the industry, and you have to learn a lot about the company when you go to an interview or even when you started to work there. When you do not have specific guidance, like specific points to where you have to invest the money, then it can be very challenging because you don't really know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and it's very important to learn from our success and it's very important to learn from our failures. An example of investing money can be as well, let's say you want to incentivize the staff, like you want them to sell more, and if they sell more, you'll give them some money at the end, you'll give them some vouchers, you can give them a present. You have to be careful with money because money are usually taxed, but you can give them a nice present and they will definitely want to sell more, and you'll definitely get a very positive return on your investment. Point number 3 is KPIs, or key performance indicators. It's very important to make sure that you know what your KPIs are, and it's very important to hit the number, to hit those KPIs. And remember, keep in mind that we are helping your line manager to achieve his KPIs, because he will get his bonuses, he will be happy, and if he will achieve his KPIs, you will definitely get your bonus, you'll be very happy, you will have great recommendations from your job. And again, it's very important to put ourselves in the shoes of your line manager and try to help him to achieve his targets. And if you are successful, he is going to be successful. In that situation, he or she is going to give you a bit more guidance, more support, and he will try to help you as much as possible to do your job, so you're never alone. And again, I know that many people want to think about themselves, about their bonuses, but we need to make sure that we're always in a win-win situation. If we win, our line managers win, our company win, and then everyone is very happy. Point number 4 is reporting. It's very important to make sure that we know how to read and analyze reports and also write reports. It can be very challenging, but I'm sure that you will get enough training and you will know how to write those reports. What I do recommend you is to make notes during a certain period, because at the end of that period you might forget what happened, you might forget some numbers, you might be under time pressure and you might have to write your report very quickly. But if you have notes prepared, you will definitely write your report quickly in a really good way, and you will send it and you will definitely be okay in terms of time. Also, analyzing a report is very important because there you can see where the poor performance happens. In that situation, you can act right away, you can improve the poor performance. Let's say you are selling black t-shirt and you have seen very low sales in the report. And by checking and analyzing the report, you can see that there is very low stock of those black t-shirts and they are not on display in the store. So in that situation, you will come with a solution is to order more stock in, and secondly, the other solution is going to be to negotiate display space, and you can also incentivize staff and tell them that if you sell 100% more t-shirts, I'm gonna make you an amazing present, and that's gonna solve a lot of problems, make more money, make more sales, and obviously make everyone much happier. And now bear with me because I have 2 more very important advice for you. So make sure you always save your logins and passwords in a document in Dropbox or let's say OneDrive. You always have updated passwords and logins for everything you use. This will definitely save you. Believe me, this will save you. And the second thing that I want to mention is make sure that when you go to an interview, you read the job description very well. Let's say the job description mentions that it's very important to hit the number and it's very important to be a good communicator. So when you will be at the interview, you have to mention that you're always focused on to hitting the number, and you think that being a great communicator is the key to success. And this is how you'll show to that company that you match with what their company are looking for, and you have much more chances to get the job. Cool, guys, so these were a few tips for you to definitely succeed when you go to an interview, or maybe you started working as a manager. I'm sure they will 100% help you. And if you have some more tips, please make sure you write them in the comments, because I'm really interested and curious to read what you have to say. And now make sure you give this video a like, you do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one.